Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Chris, the Bold Simplifier. And today, what we're going to go over is email strategy and how to set up your emails for these promotions. I think once we get to the live promotion, everybody will be able to see this all coming together. It'll all make a lot more sense when, like I said, when you see it live. So, the first thing we're going to talk about is subject lines. Now, we're not going to get too crazy with email. Like I said, I mean, this is simple stuff. It's nothing crazy. It's all pretty self-explanatory, and you don't have to go nuts with this. There aren't like a million things to do. So there are three types of subject lines that I like to use for promotions. So remember, this is different because we already have a list. So we're not using these subject lines to try to like get more people on our list or to attract people to a different list. This is just for the promotions. So the first one we have is the promo shocker, is what I call it. And this is something that you need to get the user's attention. The email introduces them to the promotion. This is a great kind of headline to use on your first email to get people to go watch your promos, to get people to start watching the tutorials for your promos, whatever it may be. Now, I realize that some of you are like, what the heck is he talking about? Videos, tutorials. Don't worry. Keep working through the course. It'll all come together. It'll all make sense. But we have to go over this first. So the email introduces them to the promotion. Like I said, we're going to go over promos in the next video, so you don't have to worry about that. I like to use current events and headlines. Make sure to be relevant to your audience. So, for example, if you have an audience that's like 54 years old on average, using a subject line about Taylor Swift is not going to attract those people in. So, this is a great example because for our live example, the average age of the people on that list are 45 to about 63. It's an older list of people that are into a very specific type of business. They're older, they like to do sales, they like to do all sorts of things. So again, Taylor Swift would not be relevant to most of those people. So I love using current events. It's genius way to get people to open up your emails, and I use these as a promo shocker. So, disclaimer on the first one that we have here, I stay away from politics and business. This has nothing to do with my political beliefs, yada, yada, yada. I just use this because it was an awesome thing. So I was watching TV once, and I noticed that this is before this became a big thing, but thanks Obama. You know, Obama, if you don't know, if you're outside the United States, is our president of the United States. And so something that was happening was people were saying thanks Obama a lot. That was like a popular thing. Again, this is not political. I'm not political at all. So don't take this, politically, but I just used it as an opt-in line. So this is one of my all-time highest open rates. I think I've had maybe two headlines beat thanks Obama. So now if you use this right now, would it still be relevant? I don't know. But during this time, Saturday Night Live was making a joke about this, and many people were saying it. It was like I saw this on my Facebook all the time, people saying thanks Obama, like about a bunch of things. So I just took a chance. I used it as an email open line. It's relevant. It was something that has to do with a celebrity, something that had to do with something that's happening, that was current. It was a current event, and it worked out really well. Like I said, my all-time best open rate. Now, here's the problem. I had to tie that in to the email itself, which I was able to do. So when you have these headlines, you have to tie it in. So I had to tie that thanks Obama into the actual email. I had to mention Obama, all sorts of things. It's a dangerous game. Like I said, I'm not political. I like to stay away from politics and business in the first place. So even if I was political, I wouldn't be mentioning it in business. However, if you can do it with taste, if you can stay away from the politics of it, then do it, because your opt-in rates will blow up. So another one that was really good was what do Nike, Taylor Swift, and ABC all have in common? So it uses a big popular brand and it uses a famous person and another popular brand. This establishes instant credibility for what I was talking about. So what I was talking about was a certain type of mobile marketing, and all three of these businesses / people use this certain type of mobile marketing. So I was able to tie that into the email. I hope this makes sense. But, all three of those people have that in common. They used it. So it was able to establish instant credibility, which is very important. Great headline there. The next headline is X Factor judges use this trick. And at the time, X Factor was big on TV. So check out what's on TV. And again, make sure it's going to resonate with your list. And this was for a shaving product. And Howie Mandel, who's a celebrity in the United States, he has a bald head. So that's how I tied that email into that. But it got the attention of all the people because X Factor was on TV at the time. So again, be looking for these opportunities. Be looking for celebrity type famous things that are happening on TV or the news or anything like that, and think about how you could use it as a headline. This is just for the promo shocker. And I just received this one from GetResponse. No joke. As I was typing all this up, I received only 1 day left to register. Jay Bear on Madonna and Lady Gaga exclusive webinar. So there you go. Even GetResponse, a big company, is using this tactic. They're using, two famous names to get people to go to their webinar. So that's the promo shocker. Again, I like to use these as my intro emails or to get people to look at a promo in the first place. So it's like my first one. Then we have promo content. This is a different type of promo headline for email subjects, or I should be saying subject line. This also needs to grab the attention. However, if you do a great job of telling prospects what to expect, they will already be waiting for this. They'll be waiting for this email. You can tie it into current events headline, but you don't necessarily need to. So this is pretty straightforward. What you'll notice is in our promos, what we're doing is we're basically setting up video tutorials or video walkthroughs or things like that we're getting people to go watch and then purchase after the promo is over. So if you did a good job on your first video, you will have told the people to be expecting another video on the next day. So headlines can include things like the training I promised. It's a great headline because you promised them training the day before, and then you deliver that training. It's that simple. You could also say something along the lines of day 1 tutorial for X. So the X, insert whatever the tutorial is on. That's if you're doing the tutorial type promotion. And then there is also, you said you wanted more, so here it is. And this is a good headline for promos where you make people opt in to continue to receive the promo. The way that you set this type of thing up is on the actual day 1, you send the prospects to a video that describes a promotion that says, hey, for the next 3 days, if you're interested, I'm going to be talking about how to set up better emails for your list. You can sign up below to receive those tutorials. So then right here, the next day, the subject line would be, you said you wanted more, so here it is, because they opted in. They said they wanted more. There you go. Pretty straightforward. Like I said, doesn't get any easier than this. And this can also just work through the steps. So if you have like a 3-day promo, you just say, day 2, tutorial for whatever. Day 3, tutorial for whatever. Done. Very, very simple. Next, we have the promo sales. This is for getting sales for the day of the sale. Usually, if you're doing a promo, you're kind of doing maybe a 3 or 4 day pre-sale. And then on the day of the sale, this is what you would send. Here's a great one. Today is the day. I've used this many times. It's very classic. You'll see it a lot. Or you'll see a version of today is the day quite frequently. If you did a great job during your promo, you'll have tons of people opening this mail anyway, and you won't have to worry about it. So it's a very classic headline to use. Get it before anyone else does. And this is for playing the early bird angle. This needs to have a benefit, so a sale, a discount, a time-based bonus based on when they purchase, whatever it may be. Early bird angles it's a very, very good way to get sales. So for example, in our live example that is going to be released very soon, what you'll notice is I'm promoting to a webinar, and this is for somebody else's product. Every time that these people, they do a webinar, the webinar allows for early bird pricing. So that the people that sign up to the webinar and then purchase after the webinar, they get a special price on the launch day. So this launch is happening on the 20th. Like I said, I'm releasing all those videos on the 21st. There might be a couple in there right now depending on what day it is, kind of walking you through what I have done so far. I feel like a live example is just the best example. It's going to be the best way to show you what's going on. But they have an early bird option, and it's a very great way to get people to do it. So, get it before anyone else. You send it right before the sale. Make sure that they get in on that early bird price. You're helping them out, and you get a ton of sales. This was an example that I used for an actual product, and it says mobile marketing business in a box on sale today. So sometimes just saying what the product is works. In this case, I had a great relationship with that list. They were waiting for this, so it worked. And in the email, you recap the past amount of days in the promo and all the value that you provided. So if you provided 3 days of value, you kind of recap those days. You say, hey, I taught you how to do this, this, and this, and it perfectly lines up with this offer. So here you can go and purchase it right here. That's kind of how that promo works. So then there is the wow, this is better than I thought. And we cover this strategy in our promotional strategies video, which is the next video, the next module. And this is a very powerful strategy. And basically what you're doing is you're showing them like, hey, I've looked through this product, but now I'm looking at it on launch day, and there's even better stuff. So a great way to promote an offer with a wow, this is better than I thought type of email. And this is actually an entire structure. We go over this in depth, so don't worry about it. But a great way to do this is you focus on one selling angle when you're promoting a product. It doesn't matter if it's a physical product or an ebook, it doesn't matter. You find one great selling point, but probably not the best selling point. And you focus on that selling point through your promotion. And then what you do on launch day is you say, holy mackerel, I totally missed this other selling point that's even better, that makes this product even better than I thought. This will get you sales all day long. Can promise you that. So those are those selling angles. And now if you're still stuck for this headline, listen up and use this old kind of strategy. And this is called ingredient, gain, and outcome. And I'm going to give you an example right now. What you're going to do is you're going to provide an ingredient. So right here we have software that sells, and then a gain for you so you can do what you love. And so that's kind of a gain and an outcome together. So it's a software, there's the ingredient, and they are gaining freedom basically because the software does it for them. And then they also can expect an outcome, which is you can do what you love. So that's a great kind of strategy for headlines if you're a little bit stuck. Just pick an ingredient, offer them a gain, and then an outcome as well. It's classic. A lot of people call this different things, but the way I learned it was ingredient, gain, outcome. Great way to put it. So that's if you're stuck on headlines. Next, we're going to talk about these email structures. These are the 5 pretty much best email structures that I like to use in my business. I use these every single day, and I use one in particular every single day that pretty much gets the best results. It really builds a strong relationship with my list. It gets them used to promos and all sorts of things. So we'll go over that in a second. So the first structure is why, and I call it the why structure. And this is kind of what it looks like when you're writing the email. You offer them a why, a how, and a what. Pretty straightforward. Nothing new here. I mean, but it works really well. So you talk about why customers should read the email, listen to you, or why the product is important. Just offer them a why. And then you go to how. How does it do what it does? How can this help them? How can your tutorials help them? How can your promotion help them? And so on. And then the what. What is it? Is it a software? Is it free training? Is it a free training tutorials? What is it? Pretty straightforward. Just write the email out. So this is great for first promo email and kind of painting the picture and getting your customers or clients to understand why they should be paying attention to you and your promotion in the first place. Again, chances are you're not going to call it a promotion. You're going to call it tutorials or something else, because people hate being sold to, and especially on the internet. It's kind of weird because the internet actually just pretty much sells to people all day long, but that's why you have to be a little bit different. And this is also great for a sales email as well, the why structure. Next, we have the better off, and we've already kind of touched on this. This is the ingredient, gain, and outcome structure. It's a very good structure. So, ingredient, a piece of what you are pushing. And so your ingredient would be just like a selling point. So you cover the selling point right here in the ingredient. Their gain, what are they going to gain from that one selling point? And then you have the outcome. This is how that little piece will lead to big results. What is this good for? When do I use this structure? Well, everywhere I use this structure. My favorite place to use it is when a product has a bunch of selling points. And what I do is I mix this right here. I use the ingredient gain outcome headline with an ingredient gain outcome email. And all I do is I look for products that have multiple selling points, and then I'll set up like a 3-day sequence, and each of the 3 days is targeted to one of those selling points. And that's basically 3 emails, 3 selling points. And if you can't get a sale off of that, then there's something kind of wrong somewhere. But that's the ingredient gain outcome. I'm going to close these so that we can see. And then a story. Oh my gosh, I know. Nobody talks about this. Just tell a story about something that happened to you. My best converting emails have been ones where I just kind of really wrote from the heart. Many marketers, they get so caught up in conversions and how they can write better emails and what's the best structure. Sometimes just writing from your heart and telling people what your day was like, or telling people a story that would actually interest them about the topic, is the best way to go. I have gone up against some big time marketers and destroyed their emails with stories. Absolutely destroyed it. In our live example, we're going to be promoting a mobile marketing product. Just for again, this stuff applies to everything, all types of marketing, physical products, doesn't matter. So don't worry, I know I'm talking a lot about marketing here, but it's just kind of the space that we're going to focus on. And I promoted a mobile marketing product, and I was up against some really big guys. I came in second place only by a few sales with a small list, all with story. I just told people what I did for the day. For this particular product, I actually went out into the real world, which a lot of people in the marketing industry kind of forget about. And I actually sold live these products to business owners. And I was able to show them that with a story. So you built your audience most likely by yourself, and you also most likely built it by yourself because they like you, and they are just like you. That's why story works so well. Just tell them a story about your day. Chances are, because they like you and they opted in, they will resonate with that story and it will sell. So that's a story. Next, we have the It's Possible. Now, if you signed up for the free pre-launch, you already have seen this structure. It's incredibly powerful. This is the best structure, period. And this is a structure I try to model as much as I can. Now, these are very loose structures, and you don't have to, you can mix and match and kind of mix them up and do different things, but this is kind of the basic structure. Even when I'm telling a story like this, I try to tell a story around this structure. So first we have establish, and you're basically establishing something the customer has seen or something the customer knows to be true, or something that they see a lot of. So you're just establishing that fact. You're just saying, hey, I'm sure you've seen, we're going to use mobile marketing for right now. Excuse me. So you could say something along the lines of, I'm sure you've seen that mobile marketing is really popular right now and everybody's talking about it. And then you're going to resonate with them and you're going to create a mutual feeling. And this needs to be a real feeling. Too many people, we can't be robots as marketers anymore. Too many people can pick up on it now. Gone are the days where you can fake people out. So you got to create a mutual resonance. So for our example, I would say something like, and I'm sure that you have seen all these products and you've thought, oh my God, I can't take another one of these products. What is everybody a mobile marketing expert now? So that's the mutual feeling that you're going to be creating with them. And then you're going to provide some leverage and you're going to establish some leverage over the topic. So you're going to say, I've actually gone out and I've had real world experience with mobile marketing. I've actually gone out and sold it. And right after that, you're going to provide proof and you're going to say, boom, here's proof. Here's a video of me actually walking into a dentist and selling mobile marketing. Proof. Bam. Or here's a testimonial from somebody who I actually helped do this. And then you're going to be the hero of their pain. You're going to be the hero. You're going to come in and say, I'm going to remove all these obstacles. We're going to get rid of them. We're going to throw them out. And here's the solution. Bam. There you go. That is establish, resonate, leverage, proof, and be the hero. That's kind of how you set it up. These are great, everywhere, basically. And another thing here is I have better than I thought. This is great. I'm sorry, actually, I'm skipping around here. I don't want to skip this structure right here for right now. This is the best email structure, period. Let's go back to this. And you can use it basically anywhere. And it uses a lot of things. It uses it's possible, you're showing possibility, and you're also kind of verifying that the sale is possible. You're showing with proof and leverage that you are the expert and that you can kind of reach the end goal. This structure will work for physical, non-physical, ebooks, doesn't matter. You can use this structure for pretty much anything. And then finally we have the better than I thought email structure, and this goes along with the better than I thought promotion and the headline that we talked about. This is great for the end of a sequence. It's great for the last day or two of a promotion. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to sweeten the offer with a bonus or a sale or a coupon, something like that. And it's best when you combine this with other kind of sequences. I like to use this, if I need another couple of sales at the end of a promotion. A lot of people who are in the internet marketing world will understand that sometimes maybe you just need a couple extra sales at the end of a promotion to push yourself over the edge to either get on a leaderboard or to sell more stuff. Or let's say you have a physical product store, say you have a goal in mind and you're trying to sell more of whatever your physical product for your e-commerce store is. This is a great way to do that. It's a great way to get a little extra from the sales. If you have a lot of people on the fence as well, if you have a lot of people who have not purchased yet, like let's say you have a physical product store and you have a list of people who abandoned their cart, this is a great email to send them. You just send them out an email that says, hey, I'm going to sweeten the offer. I know that you looked at this product or you maybe thought about purchasing this. Well, let me sweeten it for you. How about you take this bonus and you buy the product, you get this bonus, and I'll tell you what, if you, at the end of 30 days you decide you don't like this product, we'll offer you a free refund and you can keep the bonus. That's like a typical kind of sweetening the offer bonus deal. That's a great structure. And guess what? We're going to use it all throughout our entire promotion. We use this structure. We actually use it throughout the whole thing. And this is a great little piece that you can actually add on to any one of these emails. It can just be a piece of one of these emails. And we're going to talk about that again during the live example. So mix it up. We can mix these together. Here's the best example. You do a better off sequence for 3 days. So you explain to them why they'll be better off listening to you and going through your tutorials and making the purchase. And then you do 2 days of better than I thought. So you offer them 2 days of bonuses, and that makes for a great launch right there. 2 days of better off are or I'm sorry, better than I thought the last 2 days, what you would do is you would do something along the lines of creating a bonus, and then you offer that on day one, and then on the second day you offer another bonus on top of that, and on day two we would make it time based. We would say something along the lines of, these two bonuses are only available for the next 3 days. And that's that. This video has already run way too long. I don't want to bore you guys and wear you out, so take your time going through these videos. The download for these mind maps, by the way, is below each video, and you can use FreeMind. That's a free option for mind maps. If you don't want to use that, I also have the document enclosed, which is just you can open with Word or some other type of document viewer. So thank you for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, which is all about the promotional strategies themselves. And then after that, we get into the live example where we do one live, so you can actually understand what I am talking about when it comes to these different structures.